The story starts when the mother is telling her son to be a brave hero. While he is demotivated as he couldn't save anyone, and yet people call him a hero. He doesn't want to be a hero anymore, as it is too hard on him, as he is the last hope of who can save the world. Suddenly he feels falling and feels someone is pulling him down. He wakes up from the dream and heads outside to see. He thinks it was a dream, but the demons were waiting for him to come. He takes a deep breath and thinks it is reality that he has to save the world. Now his only goal is to wipe demons from the surface of the earth. Kim started fighting all his way, defeating countless demons. Our hero has risen to the top to face the Demon King. Demon King praises him to be a worthy opponent, and wants to add his strength to its own by defeating him. After taking lots of blows, the hero is tired and exhausted. The hero regrets that he couldn't save anyone, and feels like he is done with his life. The next, when he opens his eyes, he finds someone calling him to wake up. As he comes to his senses, he finds someone calling him Kim Soo-hyun. He is shocked as to where the hell he was. Kim is grabbed by the collar and is about to get punched in his face due to his previous reflex action. He manages to dodge and counter the attack. All are surprised by Kim's movement and are terrified by Kim's actions. Kim tries to apologize, but it's too late as the police are about to arrive at the location. Kim thinks why they are calling him Kim Soo-hyun when his name is Kim Sung-gun. When he picks up the mobile, which is lying on the ground, he is surprised to see himself. He feels as if he has entered someone else's body. In the year 2042, the world was destroyed. The day when the dungeons started to appear around the world and monsters started to crawl out of dungeons, it was a world emergency, and the phenomenon was known as outbreak. The world was getting destroyed by the monsters from one end, and at the other end people started to experience new powers, whom we call as awakeners, and our hero was one among them. All the humans were dead, and Kim was the last survivor of humankind, the strongest awakener. Coming to the present, Kim is interrogated by the police about his name, address which he doesn't remember. Kim sees the calendar and realizes the year is 2022, which is 20 years before the whole human race going extinct. Kim is confused if this is reality, or the Demon King Ramaris magic which has trapped him in some illusion. Kim finally realizes that he has come to a past, but in someone else's body, and thinks where his real body was. Police gets his identity, informing his mom that he is in police station. Kim's mom is shocked to see her son's face messed up and is worried about him. Kim is also surprised to see the mother of new body. His mother thinking why did he forget his home address, and realizes as they had moved in the new location, Kim must have forgotten it. On the way to the home, Kim's mom is angry on the student who are bullying him in school again and ensure him that she will not let it go next time. While walking, they feel it was unusually quiet being at the park. Kim hears some sound, looks back and sees a wolf which is about to attack them. As he manages to dodge the attack, he sees the wolf closely and realizes it's a werewolf, which were the first monsters which had entered world from the dungeon in his previous life, and thinks whether it was an outbreak. Due to his previous life experience, Kim is calm and thinks of a weapon which he can use to deal with this monster. He gets an umbrella which was lying in the bin and asks his mother not to move. His mother is scared as to why the monsters are still there when she has heard in news that the monsters were already dealt with. Kim fights with the wolves, but his body is too weak for him to deal with the wolves, as his body wasn't an awakener yet. Suddenly, another wolf charges Kim and is saved by a girl. Kim's mom is pushed back and falls to the ground. Kim is shocked as to why she saved him while he was running toward his mom. It was a dangerous act, and it was a mother's love to save his child. She asks him to run away and gets unconscious. Kim gets angry as being a hero his whole life he couldn't even protect his mom. He starts to awaken his previous powers and glare at the wolves. Wolves are frightened by the aura and starts running away. Kim has exhausted all this strength and thinks how weak his body is. He carries mom on his back and heads towards his home. He barely made it with his weak body and thought he was lucky that his wallet had a home address. Her mom still dreams of protecting her child while Kim feels he should do something to increase his strength. Gets frustrated being reborn in a useless state and doesn't want to repeat his past mistakes. Suddenly, a portal appears in front of Kim, which is known as the Tower of Trials, also commonly known as the Abyss. Kim is registered as a player and he thinks his body has a chance of improvement. To be recognized as an awakener, the player has to at least clear the first floor. Once the floor is cleared, you can increase the strength as you keep on climbing. The test begins by asking for a difficulty level of 1 to 10, for which Kim decides to go for the toughest level, which is level 10. Kim is transported to the area where he had to select his weapon to fight's few monsters. In few hours is out, clearing the floor. Somewhere in the city, a man is getting attacked by wolves and is desperately calling for help. Kim also is looking for the wolves that had attacked his mom previously, and finally finds them. As the monster is about to attack the man, Kim kicks it and attacks the wolves with an umbrella, slicing it into hundreds of pieces. The other wolves are frightened and get killed in an instant. Kim is the awakener of Addis' first floor with level 10. Comparing the frequency of dungeon formations in 2022 to that of 2019, there has been an increase. Over time, the world's equilibrium shifted. The dungeons were once viewed as a threat, but they are now a new source of revenue. Awakeners were hired by numerous groups to create guilds. In the meanwhile, the ranking has been updated. Everyone is taken aback by the top ranker's score of 2,300 points, given that second place only receives 980 points. During the fight, everyone is suspicious of some flaw or cheating. Everyone wants to know more about Kim Soo-hyun. Every floor has an own atmosphere, climate, and culture. NPCs who resemble humans, elves, and other creatures can be found inside each level. Trading is accomplished by paying points that have been acquired through floor clearing. Before he moves on to the next floor, Kim intends to purchase some weaponry. When Kim goes to a store, he spots the elf who constantly convinced to get new players to buy useless items. Kim has already made the decision to purchase transformation and leap skills. The elf questions if he can afford it since it will cost him 1150 points and expresses surprise at how he learned about those skills. The elf is astonished that Kim can have so many points on the first floor when he pays the price. The elf asks him if he is a player from the second floor. Kim soon makes sure he has all he needs to move on to the next floor by looking through his inventory pouch. Kim was not even aware that a man had suddenly appeared behind him. Kim realizes it was Cho Hak-jun, the one who would later massacre a whole guild. Cho perceives that Kim is constantly glaring at his face, as though there is an issue. Kim inquires as to what he would want. Cho claims that he has been watching him since he entered the store, that he likes all the items he purchases, and that he believes he has an excellent eye for purchasing equipment. Kim is upset because, despite the fact that he was following him the entire time, he was unable to detect him. Cho responds that he wants to start a party with Kim when Kim asks what he wants. Finding somebody that can assist him with level 7 on the second floor is proving to be challenging. But because the Cho objective was too low, Kim turned down the offer. Moving to the second floor, Kim chooses the challenging level 10, for which he is awarded a treasure belonging to the Charles clan. The Charles clan will pursue him to reclaim their treasure. Kim will be the owner of the treasure if he manages to escape with it and makes it out of this wilderness alive. Kim tries to evaluate the treasure, but it doesn't respond, leading him to believe it's merely a prop to get through the trial. The moment he is transported to the forest, all of the monsters become aware of his presence due to the missing fortune and their fear of encroachment. Since these creatures are skilled at tracking, they begin to look for the intruder. Kim is considering how much this item is worth and how challenging the journey must be. When the monster spots Kim, all Kim can do is strike back. Kim discovers that in order to clear the path, he must vanquish every creature, even the master. Kim sets up his mind and begins eliminating every enemy he encounters while continuously gaining points. As the boss finally shows up, Kim uses his newly acquired abilities to leap and chop him in half. Kim sweeps the floor, revealing the treasure's special power, which the player can use a maximum of 5 times, to heal all wounds and cure all status ailments. Kim sees that his stats are rising more quickly than they were earlier, which makes him happy. Kim takes advantage of his transformation ability, which allows him to absorb the boss's abilities and channel them into himself. One can use this skill once at any time. Kim gains boss skills including increased strength and endurance. When Kim returns from the portal, he is hungry and exhausted. To his surprise, his mother has prepared plenty of food. and expresses his gratitude to her for the food. After finishing the meal, he checks his mail and is shocked to see a ton of requests asking him to explain how he cleared the floor with points. A couple of them even want him to join their guilds.